The hitter's Breeze and a fielder's Sky tonight from St. Peter's Field as we bring you post 31 American Legion baseball action as they'll be taking on post 49 from Fairhaven, and it will be Matt Sharon on the mound. Now remember, we got to see Matt Sharon pitch in the first game of the year here against Granville, and we've seen him play some tremendous shortstop. But he's on the mound tonight, and he'll be taking on Chad Catrati in that #1 spot for Fairhaven. The post 49 squad all in the red tops and the gray bottoms. Pitch called a strike. Catrati, always a threat to lay down a bunt. He's got tremendous speed, good baseball instincts. Neat part was Sharon and Catrati were teammates at Mill River this past season. Swing and a miss on the Sharon fastball. 0-2 the count to the leadoff batter as we're scheduled for 7. As we know, in the past, that's just a number. The other night we went to 10 innings before darkness got us, and there's a strikeout by Matt Sharon. 3 pitches and a strikeout to get things going. Now Evan Davis up and Devin Neary on deck for Fairhaven. Coach Tony Sorelli in charge at post 31, and Coach Ruby over there at Fairhaven. And that's going to be a little bit too far inside. It'll be a ball. That's Anthony LaPlaca behind the plate. Garrett Brewer getting started at first base. Chris Barker down at second base. Pat Guyette is your shortstop. And Jeff McLaughlin. There's a strike right there at the knee. Jeff McLaughlin's at third base. In right field is John Holtman. The center fielder is Rob Dorian and Sean McGuire out there in left field. That's the post 31 defense here in this Legion baseball game. Nice pitch. Sharon really mixing it up here, even though he's only faced 2 batters. We've seen the fastball, curveball, slider, and there might have been a changeup in there. It's 1-2 right now to the second man up this inning for Fairhaven. And boy, I'll tell you what, Sharon wanted that. He'd set up that big bender and he'd get the call. Davis got a little lucky there because with those 2 strikes on you, you don't want to become a spectator. You want to move that bat anything close to the strike zone. Went high and hard. Now run it to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. George Bennett and Jeff Brewer are the assistant coaches for Coach Sorelli at post 31. And the pitch. That's going to be nubbed right back, picked up by Sharon. He'll just underhand the throw and get the second out. So he's faced 2, and he's retired them both. That goes as a 1-3 ground out. Now Devin Neary, the center fielder, up. And if you didn't catch it live, make sure you catch it on channel 15, the Chester post 67 Rutland post 31 game that was called because of darkness, suspended because of darkness, in a 2-2 tie going into the 11th inning. It was a game that featured some tremendous pitching by both sides, incredible defensive plays on both sides, and really worth watching over and over again. And that game will be completed down in Chester before they start their regular scheduled game for that date, and he couldn't hold up on it. That's going to be a strike. And Sharon looking very sharp here in his first inning. Has 1 strikeout already. He's at an 0-2 count right now, and LaPlaca sets up on that outside part of the plate, and that's right where he threw it, but it was high for a 1-2 count. In the outfield, I gotta tell you, they're actually playing relatively deep. Dorian, a good 15 feet from the wall. That's very deep. He's got tremendous speed, though, to make up for mistakes, and Sharon tries to come up high and hard again. Now it goes to a 2-2 count. And this is the last time in the count, usually, if they're going to be clever with a changeup or a breaking ball that they'll throw it. We'll see what Matt decides here on the pitch. He'll kick fire and went breaking ball, and boy, he was leaving the game. He thought he'd had it, and he goes to his 2nd full count now of the first inning. Bases are clear and 2 down. And Devin Neary, a right-handed hitter, all set. And a pitch from Matt Sharon. Just try to blast it by him, and it's fouled off down the first baseline. We'll stay at a full count. And I do know not available tonight in their pitching would be Justin Pamakala. He pitched the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th last night. And that'll be another foul ball on a breaking ball. And of course, the starting pitcher, Rob Turner, went 7 innings last night. He won't be available. But there's plenty of arms out there. Quista Pace is on the bench. Chad Ryan is out there on the bench. Sharon is on the mound. Like I said, this is scheduled to be 7 innings. And we'll only see what happens tonight. And he'll ring him up for a second strikeout. Sharon with a 1-2-3 first inning that featured 2 strikeouts. We're scoreless after a half inning. On the mound will be Richard Colty for Fairhaven, wearing number 11. Ryan Gilbert will be his catcher, and the leadoff hitter, of course, is going to be Rob Dorian. He's done a nice job in that leadoff spot for Coach Tony Sorelli, and that'll pitch will be outside. Now in the warm-ups, Colte was extremely wild all over the place. He has a very high, slow leg kick delivery. He throws a lot with the wrist and the elbow. That's going to be playable. That's popped up and called for and caught by the shortstop, Evan Davis, for the first out of the ball game for Fairhaven. So they'll get that all-important leadoff batter out. And that'll bring up Matt Sharon now. The rest of that defense has Dan Woods playing first base. Chad Catrati's at second. Evan Davis is your shortstop. Zach Daigle is at third. I've already mentioned Gilbert behind the dish. And that could be another out right there. They're hustling and looking like they're going to make the catch in foul territory. Zach Daigle settling in underneath it for the second out. Quick work here by Colte. And now Jeff McLaughlin up, number 3 hitter in the Rutland lineup. So 2 down and the base is clear. Should mention too, the bat girl out there is Natasha McPhee. She's doing a good job for post 31. So McLaughlin getting set to step in against Colte. And just getting back to that Chester post 67 game that was suspended because of darkness going into the 11th inning in a 2-2 tie. That'll be a ball. That game's going to be resumed down in Chester on July 15th because Rutland has a 9-inning game scheduled. They're already on their way to Chester. And what they'll do before that scheduled 9-inning game is they'll complete the game that was suspended due to darkness. And again, it's really worth trying to watch. You can get the Channel 15 schedule and Sam's Good News. You can get it at the website PEGTV.com, and you can call them at 747-0151. But you should really try to catch that. It was one of the best pitched and defended ball games I've seen in a long time. It was an exciting game. So we have a 2-ball, 1-strike count to McLaughlin. Fairhaven looking for a 1-2-3 inning defensively. And it just missed a little bit, maybe a little bit high, maybe a little bit inside. Had a lot of pop on it, but we'll go to the 3-1 count now. And Colte, all set, got the sign, and will issue a walk. That'll be the first base runner of the ball game. And McLaughlin will be at first with LaPlaca up now. Anthony LaPlaca. And he will step in now. And of course, Coach Sorelli likes to gyrate the bases here, get things moving on the base pass. McLaughlin, a good man to do that with. LaPlaca handles the bat well. We'll see what happens here with 2 down. It's going to be a great stop behind the plate by Ryan Gilbert. Now, Ryan Gilbert might jump out at you if you watch a lot of Channel 15 sports. He played for MSJ. He played JV and varsity basketball. Played JV baseball. And that is going to be out of play. It'll be a foul ball. And the spectator coming over almost got whacked with it. That's, you come to a baseball game. No, I don't care if you're in a pro stadium or here at this beautiful park here. You've got to be alive. Those balls get out here quick and they hurt when they hit you. So 1-1 count. Big rip and a miss. LaPlaca, if you started the season off the first 3 games really whacking the leather right off the ball, the cowhide right off the ball, but been in somewhat of a mini slump. Seems to be, if anything, trying to overswing, power the ball out on every at-bat right now. Runner going, pitch was high, throw coming down to Catrati, and got him. Catrati with a dandy tag. That's going to end the inning. We'll go to the 2nd inning. Both teams, nice job out in the field. We're scoreless. Against Matt Sharon. Sharon having a 1-2-3 first inning. He struck out 2 of the 3 hitters he faced. And this is again another teammate from Mill River that he had played with. Now he's playing against. Sharon was instrumental in all 3 outs. He had an assist on the only out that wasn't a strikeout. It was a ground ball hit back to Sharon. He's going to have a 2-0 count right, 2 balls, no strikes. And Matt Sharon, who's graduated from Mill River right here, just fired it right by Woods for a strike. And again, I'll just bring you up to date real quick. The 13th of July, home game here, 5:30 start versus Bellows Falls. That's a 7-inning game. And boy, that was a nice sequencing of pitches. He didn't get the call, but it was a great place to throw that nasty pitch. The 16th is a Sunday. It's a noontime start. It's a doubleheader against Brattleboro. So a nice pitch. Inside corner, 3-2 full count. That's the 3rd full count of the ball game for Sharon. but it's not like he's been wild. Every pitch has been just about right there. And that's going to be hit the Guyette. There he is. He's deep in the hole. That's a tough throw, and they're going to get him. Guyette from deep in the hole set himself and made a nice throw. There's Pat. Good job. Sorry about the camera work there. I kind of let the head of the camera slip down on me. Now Zach Daigle up for the first time. He hits in that 5 spot. And Sharon, being an all-important leadoff batter out here in the second. Starts things off. He likes it. I like the way he's just establishing being ahead in the count with a fastball. That was right there on the corner. See LaPlaca set up outside this time, and it was outside, and the changeup bounced in the dirt and came up short. It makes it 1 ball, 1 strike. The on-deck hitters, Andrew Kulig. Matt Sharon working at a nice clip, and boy, he had a bend on that and got the call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outfield, pretty much straight up out there. And Dorian in center field has really been outstanding this year, and that's a great pitch. Got him looking inside corner, and again, that's his 3rd strikeout. But again, no matter how good the pitcher is, with 2 strikes, your job or your responsibility as a hitter is to just get the bat on the ball if you don't like the pitch, as far as being able to drive it and protect the plate. And there's been a couple strike threes looking here with 2 strikes on. Now Kulig up. Andrew Kulig from the left side. It'll be the first lefty Sharon would have faced here. And he'll be way outside for a 1 ball, no strike count. Now that outfield's of McGuire, Dorian, and Holtman has just been rock solid all season. Can't catch up to that heater. Actually, might have been a foul tip caught by LaPlaca, and that'll even the count down at 1 ball, 1 strike. And somebody's barbecuing. You can smell it up here in the booth, and that's just not fair. 2-1 is the count. Matt Sharon's faced 5 post 49 players. Hitters has retired them all. And that's going to be, I'm going to follow up, but that's going to be out of play. Yeah. That'll be on the River Street, and that'll be out of play. But that will even the count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Like I said, a lot of good games left. I left off with a doubleheader against Brattleboro on the 16th. That's a noontime start. That's a Sunday game, 2 7-inning games. And Sharon will strike out 2 more this inning. He's retired all 6 post 49 batters he's faced. And we're going to go to the bottom of the second, scoreless. Now, will be LaPlaca back at the plate. Remember, he was the hitter when they threw McLaughlin out trying to steal. So LaPlaca will lead off the bottom of the second, and just a tad bit to the inside. Colty looked good in that first inning. He did have the 1 walk, but that got corrected by the catcher Gilbert throwing down, getting the runner out trying to steal. That'll be a little bit outside. Good eye by LaPlaca. Makes it 2 balls, no strikes. And that Fairhaven defense still has Dan Woods at first, Chad Catrati at second, Evan Davis is your shortstop, Zach Daigle is at third base, Ryan Gilbert behind the plate. We already mentioned Colty's on the mound. That's a 3-0 count now. The outfield has Andrew Kulig in right, Devin Erie in center, and Billy Knapp in left. With a 3-0 count, he'll get the strike called on the outside corner. 3 balls, 1 strike to leadoff hitter for post 31 in the red, white, and blue uniforms at the plate. And post 49 Fairhaven in the red tops, gray bottoms. Colty on the mound and came inside too far, and it's going to be his 2nd walk of the ball game. That'll be the 2nd base runner of the ball game for post 31. Now Garrett Brewer up. See if they'll go courtesy runner here for LaPlaca. There has been times during the year they have done that. So far, nobody coming up to the dugout steps, and it looks like Anthony will stay in the game and run for himself. Now Brewer up. And a good stop by Gilbert behind the plate again, making a little backhand stop. You see the puff of dust come up from the dirt, and it'll keep LaPlaca down at first base. He is being held on by Wood over there, Dan Wood. That pitch high, and Gilbert makes the adjustment, going up with the glove this time. So he's done it low, done it high, and it's a 2-0 count. And again, there is a breeze blowing out from center field right to dead, from home plate to dead center field. That's the hitter's breeze I was talking about. And The cloud cover makes a beautiful sky for the fielders tonight. Usually if the sun's out, this is a notoriously bad left side of the field for the fielders with that sun in their eyes, but they don't have that problem tonight. That's going to be the backstop. And Anthony LaPlaca will come down to second base, and that's as good as a sacrifice. It's better, actually, because you got the runner to second base and didn't waste an out. You know, I lost track of the count. It was a pat ball. Did get by him, but it was another walk. I had missed the count on that. So first and second on back-to-back walks. That's 3 walks in a game, and now Chris Parker up. And they're going to have a little meeting already on the mound for Fairhaven. So the meeting breaks up. Coach Hoopy heads back to the dugout. The reason I don't stay on during the meetings, I'm trying to keep the game time under 2 hours for a lot of technical reasons, but that's why there's no need to watch him talk. He throws bunt, hit him. Yep. He just came in and hit him. So he's had 3 walks and a hit batter, and that will load the bases up with nobody down. The makings of a huge inning here. And Sean McGuire, who was stroking the ball solidly last night against Chester, is at the plate. So a walk, and a hit batter, and post 49 in a little bit of trouble here in the bottom of the second. And Richard Colte, starting pitcher, looking for some control right now. And he will get the call as he painted that outside corner. The only real speed on the bases right now, and I think they'll all agree with me, is Parker. So the ball better be hit long and deep if he's going to get around, because he can't pass the 2 slower guys in front of him. And that's going to be to the backstop. Nobody will advance. First of all, the backstop's a lot closer now since the construction 3 years ago. It's not an automatic thing to score. Plus, you don't take yourself out of the possibility of a big inning by sending somebody home ahead and them tagged out, possibly even doubled up. So that was obviously a ball, and Colte now more aiming than throwing, and he's gone down in the count again into the 2 balls, 1 strikes. As McGuire will be followed by John Holtman, then Pat Guyette. And Rutland coming in with just that 1 league loss. That's a good pitch. That'll make it a full count. Just reared back and fired a fastball. 2-2 count. For some reason, I can't keep track of my balls and my strikes tonight. Could be because I came here from 4:30 to 9 last night. And that could be playable. Dan Woods is a good fielder. And, oh, that could come back to really bite him in the butt. And he's not looking at any sunshine either. That would have been an out in foul territory. Nobody could advance on it. Second chance here for McGuire. He gets a little second life. See what he can do with it. So Colte, not being helped out right there by the fielder, will get set, and that's a little eardrum music, right? That's beyond the chin. That's up around the ear, and now we really do have a full count. Again, 1, 2, 3 walks and a hit batter so far in the ball game. We're in the second inning, bottom of the second to be exact. We're scoreless. That could change real quick here. And he's hit his second batter as he gets McGuire up high, and that will drive in the first run. So LaPlaca will come in to score. Brewer will go to third. Parker will go to second. And McGuire will be at first base. We've had back-to-back hit batters. We've already had 1 meeting on the mound with the coach involved. So if the coach comes out again, that'll be Mr. Colte's evening. 1-0 Rutland. Base is still juiced, and Holtman all set from the left side. Could be a little bit safer as the pitches have been coming up and in on the right-handers. Holtman, left-handed hitter, takes a strike right there. And Colte trying to get out of this with minimal damage. That'll be to the backstop, and again, nobody will move up. You see how hard it came out from that. It's just that thin, cheap, outdoor carpeting AstroTurf stuff over a concrete wall, and the ball came off and right back to the catcher. Anybody trying to move up on the bases would have just been dead meat right there. Got a 1-1 count, 1-0 Rutland as we're in the bottom of the second. And they've done it without putting the bat on the ball. Of course, they can't swing at what's not a legitimate strike. That's called a strike. 1-2 the count. 2 walks, 2 hit batters. That's how everything's happened so far here. Colte, though, looking to ring one up here. Comes in high, and that'll make it a 2-2 count. And again, you got to go back to the drop ball in foul territory. by Fairhaven. Or they could be looking at one down, base is still loaded, but no runs in here. And that will be yet another 3-ball count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to John Holtman with nowhere to put him. That old cliche. There's post 31 players everywhere out there on the bases. That was high. I was waiting because that was one of those borderline calls, but he'll walk in his second run of the game. It will be Brewer coming in to score. Parker goes to third, and McGuire to second, and to first base is Holtman. Now Pat Guyette up for the first time, and Coach Ruby coming out, and that should be it for his starting pitcher, Colty, who didn't survive 2 innings. There's the ball being handed off. We'll pick it up with a new pitcher. So Pat Guyette will face Dan Woods as Woods comes over from first base to take the pitching spot over. Colty goes from the pitching mound to first base. They just change him over. And again, Guyette up, and tell you what, Dan Woods in a very uncomfortable position. Nobody down, base is loaded. He'll fire away with that left hand of his, and he had some nice movement on his warm-up pitches. Looked real good, lively arm, lively ball. We'll see what we can do here. As Guyette will swing away, and that's going to be out of play. That'll be a foul ball, strike 1. So he's up in the count to this first batter he faced. That's very, very important. There's yet to be a base hit by post 31. It has been either walks or hit batters that's done all the damage here. And that was cool. He somehow missed Guyette, who I don't believe is sold on the expression, take one for the team. And again, he came off that concrete retaining wall right back to the catcher, nobody able to move up. And again, why would you want to do that when you've got the makings here of a mega inning? That's 2-0, and nobody down. That pitch will catch the plate, but high, and it'll be 2 balls, 1 strike now. Like I said, right now, overall record for post 31, there's a strike call, is at 4-3-1 because they haven't made up the tie game with Chester, which they will. They can't have a tie. This isn't that type of sport like soccer would be. See, in the old days you could say hockey, but hockey's not like that in the NHL anymore. And a full count. That's a very familiar theme for Fairhaven here this evening. Bases loaded. The 2 runs on the board have both been walked in, and that make it the 3rd run has been walked in. So this will bring Chris Parker in. He was hit by a pitch. McGuire goes to 3rd. Holtman to 2nd. Guyette to 1st. And the top of the order, Rob Dorian up. Now Dorian actually was able to get a piece of the ball his first time up and ground out to the shortstop. Oh, and he's got a chance for a base hit. That's going to drop in and be foul. Got around and pulled it. One thing about Dan Wood's release point here, it's kind of a funky motion, and it could be tough the first time through looking at him to pick up the release point and find the ball. And that could be playable. Catrati, no, it's going to be Colty. He'll make the catch. And there is the official first out of the 2nd inning for post 31. A fly ball caught by Richard Colty, now the first baseman defensively. Now Sharon up, and he grounded out to the shortstop, Evan Davis. Actually, he didn't. He grounded out to Zach Daigle, the 3rd baseman. And that's going to be after the catcher's mitt. No damage will be done. Everybody will stay in place. So 3 runs in, 1 out. Base is still loaded, and Matt Sharon, who always, or most of the time, makes contact with the ball up there, looking to stroke one in here and get a couple runs. That'll be low and inside. And again, that'll be past the catcher and nobody moving up again. After watching last night's Chester game, where the pitchers were just excellent all the way through the contest, both the starters and the relievers that came in for both Rutland and Chester, it's going to be a little bit different here tonight with Fairhaven having already made a pitching change. And boy, Sharon got around on that, and that's going to be, that's going to get past Neary, and runs coming in everywhere. You can see another run there. There's 4, I believe 5, and yeah, it's 5 runs now for Rutland. Sharon with a double as McGuire came in ahead of everything. Holtman and then Guyette. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, actually, I've lost Guyette. Oh, Pat never scored. He's over at 3rd base. And Sharon is out there with a double. Now Jeff McLaughlin becomes the 9th hitter to bat here for post 31. and that'll be too far inside for a ball. So when they get a pitch to hit, they're able to do it and make it 5-0 now. Rutland with Sharon at second, Guyette at third, and Wood on the mound, and then will be to the backstop, and no damage will be done there again as Dan Woods coming in relief of Richard Coulter, who went 1+ inning, didn't get any outs here in this second inning of work. We went to the bottom of the second scoreless. And that's going to be to Catrati. Nice hop, and he'll take out at first base and concede the run. Now Guyette scores, and it officially is 6-0. And Sharon with a good piece of base running moves up to third base. So LaPlaca, who started this whole thing off with a walk in the second inning and scored a run, back up there. Runner at third. 2 down now, though. And Dan Woods comes in a little bit high with that fastball. So to this point, a 6-run second inning for post 31 of Rutland. And boy, LaPlaca like that. He had some hand speed through the strike zone right there and fouled it back. And that will make it a 1-1 count now. The outfield, just a very slight shift toward third base. It's the left field line. And that will sail high, and a good eye by LaPlaca, laying off the pitch. We go to 2 balls and 1 strike. Colty at first, Catrati at second, Davis at short, Daigle at third, Gilbert behind the plate, Knapp, Neary, and that's going to be, I got to find Devin, here he is. And he's going to look up and make the catch to retire the side, but post 31 able to pick up 6 runs, and after 2, it's 6-0, post 31 over post 49. So in the third, Matt Sharon will be looking at 7, 8, 9 hitters. So it'll be Richard Colty, Billy Knapp, and Ryan Gilbert up. And to this point, a perfect 6 for 6 by Matt Sharon. He has 4 strikeouts, faced 6 batters. And Colty was a starting pitcher. Now at first base, will take a strike right there. And it'll make it a 1-ball, 1 strike count. Everything staying the same for post 31. Little LaPlaca behind the dish. Sharon on the mound, that's the battery. Brewer at first, Parker at second, that's low for a ball. Guyette at short tonight. McLaughlin is at third. Holtman, Dorian, and McGuire. That's the outfield. Post 31 baseball brought to you by PEGTV, Munger Vision. And I'll run it to a 3-ball, 1 strike count. Now Sharon's had 4 3-ball counts, yet to issue a walk. He's able to come back and get the out. And he'll just come right in, just challenge him right there. That's pure power, and that makes it a full count now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Perfect night for baseball. Perfect night to be sitting at home watching Channel 15. And won't get the call this time, and that'll be the first base runner. They'll end the 6-in-a-row streak, and Colty will walk Bill Knapp up now, the left fielder. And again, great for the people that showed up here, but very sparse crowd. And I tell you, gotta get, before this season's over, we gotta get these bleachers at least half full. I'd like to see them all full, but I know that will be impossible. Sharon from the stretch for the first time tonight. Had a strike on that first pitch, comes in and should have a strike on the second pitch, and he does. Great location to that right-handed hitter, low and outside. Knapp now down 0-2. See if he'll get the bat off the shoulder and protect the plate. We've had a couple called strikes looking, and he will protect the plate, and that's going to be another foul down into the screen along the first baseline, and we'll stay at 0-2. So 4 strikeouts and a walk to this point in the contest by Matt Sharon, number 22, out there on the mound, and came in high and hard and too high, and it'll be a 1-2 count. Again, the breeze blowing from home plate right out to center field. You can get a ball up in that airstream, and it's going to get a little help getting out of here. And he'll have his 5th strikeout. So he has struck out at least 1 every inning. And Gilbert up now, Ryan Gilbert. And Gilbert, and then top of the order, Chad Catrati on deck. So Gilbert, and I'm waiting to see, Colty has had a conservative lead, and that's called a strike. He is being held on down at first base by Garrett Brewer. But Colte with a very short lead at first right now. And that's going to be fouled out of play for strike 2. And again, Sharon, even though he's had several 3-ball counts, he's also been able to, on many hitters, get up in ahead in the count. There's 1 down, and now there are 2 down, and he has averaged 2 strikeouts in an inning as he's got 6 strikeouts in the game. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, and Chad Catrati up. He struck out in the first himself. Now there are 2 outs with that walk. That runner that was walked over at first base. And Matt Sharon working at a nice pace too. He's feeling it, catching it, and firing it. Nice stop by LaPlaca behind the plate, taking that one right out of the dirt. Chad Catrati with a lot of athletic brothers. And boy, he got his rips at that. He's got a hockey goalie brother, he's got a soccer star brother, and he's quite a baseball player himself. And I'll tell you what, he was fierce on that swing. That's going to be low and in the dirt. A nice scoop up by LaPlaca. LaPlaca very good defensively back there. Very good relationship with his pitchers. Able to get right on the same page with him, know what he wants to call. And that's going to be short in the dirt. It'll be 2 balls, 1 strike. Trotty with 2 down, but the runner at first. Colte doesn't appear as if he's going to take a chance at going to second base on a steal. And that's going to be ball 4. The board again was 1 pitch behind, and it'll be 2 walks this inning. And Evan Davis up. He grounded out to Matt Sharon. The pitcher is only time up. He's got chance to do some damage here. 1 runner in scoring position at second is Colte, and then Catrati at first. Now Evan Davis with Dan Neary on deck, or Devin Neary, apologize for that. And Sharon. Great breaking ball, and he'll get the call. Again, he's mixed it up. He's been in control of pretty much 3 pitches tonight. Done a nice job. And LaPlaca wants it on the outside corner, and it went there, but a little bit too high. And it'll level everything off now at 1 ball, 1 strike. Channel 15's website is PEGTV.com. You can also find the schedule and Sam's Good News, not only for 15, but for Channel 20. And that should be a balk right there. And yeah, he never, yep. There's nobody holding the runner on, so that will move runners up to second and third. Catrati should be allowed. There you go. So a balk will put runners at second and third, both in scoring position now. And at this point right here, it's just my philosophy. Yeah, you can't let them get a lead halfway down the line, but you should just worry about the hitter. Take care of the hitter, and you're going to have the 3rd out. And he's been overpowering. He's got 2 strikeouts an inning. He's got 6 to this point, and he's got a 1-2 count, and he could look for strikeout number 7 right here. Sharon going to the full windup with runners at second and third and 2 down, and we'll miss just Sloan. We'll go to a 2-2 count. That says to me Matt Sharon feels more comfortable pitching from the windup than from the stretch. And that was a good rip. Fouled straight back, a horizontal strike on a foul ball, and we'll stay at 2-2. Sharon, when he is not pitching, has just been stunningly brilliant at shortstop. Some tremendous plays to watch. You can really appreciate his baseball instinct and his athleticism out there at that shortstop position. Doing a pretty darn good job right now on the mound. He'll bust it up and high and couldn't get him to chase it, and we'll have a full count at 3-2. So Matt Sharon's got a lot of 3-2 counts going tonight. This would load the bases if he does issue the walk. And that, Holtman, and that's going to be over Holtman's head, and you'll see the first run come in Colte. You should be seeing the second run. There's Catrati, and that's going to be a RBI, 2 RBI double, and make it 6-2. Evan Davis with a double. And that does some damage. 6-2 now, and a chance to keep working that lead down as Neary up with a runner down at second base. Got the pitch up and out over the plate. And that one got there in a hurry, but it was high for a ball. Now Holtman's a fast guy out there in right field, and not even he could catch up to that line drive double. And that's a strike, and nobody for LaPlaca who pumped. Yeah, he wanted to throw it. There's just nobody that came over and covered the bag, and he held up on it. You could tell by his body language of the head tilt that he was a little frustrated that he couldn't let that ball go. Waves on, and it'll be picked up. It'll be a strike. The runner doesn't advance, and we will have a 1-2 count. 2 runs in here in the third inning for Fairhaven, making it 6-2. We're supposed to go 7 tonight. We were supposed to do that last night. We ended up going in to the 11th before darkness called it. And he'll have 7 strikeouts, 3 that inning, and 2 runs by Fairhaven. 6-2, Rutland with the lead. So Dan Woods had that lead whittled down to just 4 right now. His job's to not get back those 2 runs that they picked up. Garrett Brewer up, Chris Parker, and then Sean McGuire. All 3 gentlemen were either walked or hit by a pitch, and all 3 gentlemen came around to score. Brewer with a vicious rip will miss, and that'll be a strike. Rob Black behind the plate calling balls and strike. Craig Pettis, the umpire, in the field, and we have a 1-1 count in the bottom of the third. That one got away from Dan Wood. So Woods came on in relief of Colty in the second inning and did a nice job. Started the evening off playing first base defensively. That one will miss down and away, and we'll have a 2-1 count. There has not been a strikeout issued yet by Fairhaven pitching. And boy, Brewer liked that up and down the strike zone. He went hunting and came up empty. It'll be a 2-2 count now. Got his hacks in on that one. And Dan Wood's working at a pretty good pace, catching and firing right now. And they'll appeal it, and they say he went and struck him out. So Brewer will chase 2 bad pitches out of the strike zone and strike out. That's the first strikeout by any of the 2 Fairhaven pitchers. Now Chris Parker up. He was hit by a pitch and scored. So the leadoff batter is retired, and Parker will like that first pitch. He was sitting on the fastball and fouled it off. And if you're just joining us, you're watching Fairhaven in the field defensively with the red uniforms on. Post 49 they are, and taking on Rutland red, white, and blue. Post 31 at the plate. When Parker fouls it right into the catcher's mitt. Ryan Gilbert with the catch, and that should be a 2-strike count, 0-2. Dan Woods kind of getting into the rhythm of the game now. Remember, he was kind of issued in to pitch. He wasn't expected to pitch that probably that early in the game. So he's kind of mentally getting where he should be right now. That one's a little high, and that'll be out of the strike zone, and that'll be a 2-2 count now. And again, if you get here Saturday, July 22nd, you'll see a doubleheader against New Jersey in a non-league game. And that could be a fun one to watch. Trying to gauge the talent here from Vermont against the guys from New Jersey. 3-2 the count. And Parker will have it taken down by Catrati. Catrati just timing his jump perfectly, went up and got it, and Parker will be retired. So that's 2 down here. And McGuire up. He was hit by a pitch and scored. So nobody on. 2 down. And Dan Woods looking for a 1-2-3 inning and accomplishing his goal of not giving back the 2 runs that Fairhaven got. And this could do it. See, Devin Neary says he's got it, and he does. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Fairhaven. Post 49 will go to the 4-6-2 Rutland. Dan Woods had a nice job pitching in the bottom of the third. Will lead off here in the top of the fourth for Fairhaven, and he'll take ball 1 for Matt Sharon. Sharon with 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 1 hit allowed. And it's looked pretty darn good out there. He's got a 6-2 lead, and the second pitch on the way will be right. Ooh, we won't get. Yeah, he will get the call on a very delayed call, but he fool Dan Woods, his former teammate in high school. 1-1 to count, and Sharon, I like the pace he works at, and that's going to be a base hit. That's going to be picked up by McGuire. Got to the gap and cut it off, and a base hit for Dan Woods. He'll get the second hit of the game for Fairhaven. As we are in the fourth inning. Now Zach Daigle, who struck out back in the second, getting his second look now through the lineup at Sharon, who starts him off with a first pitch breaking ball. Missed it, 1 ball, no strikes. Again, like I said, Pamakala and Turner would be not available for tonight to pitch. They both, that's a swinging strike, handcuffed them. Pamakala pitched the 8th, 9th, and 10th inning last night. Turner went the first 7. Like I said, Chad Ryan I know is available, and you start going through, there's plenty of people. Parker can pitch. And that going to drop in. Yeah, it's going to drop in over. That'll be a little blooper of a base hit, and they'll quickly get it in. First and second now for Fairhaven, trying to work themselves right back in the ball game here. It is not how hard you hit the ball sometimes, but where you hit it. And now Andrew Kulik up with 2 on and nobody down. First time Sharon's been in this situation. He's had 2 on before, but nobody out this time. And strike, great pitch. The outfield took a few steps in and straightened up for Kulik. He's a left-hander. Brewer playing on the edge of the infield grass at first, and then that one never broke for him, stayed outside, and LaPlaca went and got it. You know, I never didn't like the bunt here. Move him up to second and third with 1 down. Kulik will swing through, and that'll be a strike. It actually might have been fouled. It's picked up by LaPlaca, and it's going to be a 1-2 count now. As far as scoring on a base hit, a single, a lot of it has to depend. Oh, we're having a conference. I can't imagine what it is, so I'll have to wait and see what the officials say. They're going to say catcher's interference and move the batters along. Now, that's not official, but when they talk and they looked and he pointed to his hand and he pointed to LaPlaca, that'll load the bases with nobody out. Now bring up Richard Colte, who walked and scored. So Fairhaven 1 swing away from being right back in his ball game. So Sharon with his 7 strikeouts. And boy, they're not sending the runner on that. And it'll be retrieved now. Everybody stays put. Same deal. Why take yourself out of the what appears to be the making of a big inning here with a base running mistake? That's going to be a ball to Colte. Knapp on deck and Gilbert to follow. He's at the 7, 8, 9 spot. Like I said, he's pitched extremely well. He's got 7 strikeouts, but he's got a 6-2 lead and the base is loaded right now and nobody down. And that's going to be ball 2. So he'll be working from a 2-0 count. And if you're the hitter, you got to be sitting and thinking if you're going to be projecting in your head, anticipating, you got to think fastball right here. And he got it, and it was way outside, and a great stop by Anthony LaPlaca. And all of a sudden, it goes to 3 balls, no strikes. And we're going to have a visit from Jeff Brewer, the pitching coach, for Rutland as he'll make his way. There he is, just lumbering out now to the mound. We'll pick it up on the other side of the meeting. Well, it was a short visit, but we're all set, and Sharon now will wind it up, and that'll be a strike on the outside corner. That'll make it 3 balls, 1 strike. Nowhere to put them. Bases loaded. 6-2 the score. Rutland with the lead. They had a 6-run second inning. And Fairhaven with a big opportunity here, and oh, great pitch. Pulled the string on it, and we got a full count now. Matt Sharon with 7 strikeouts to this point in the contest. Love to see number 8 right here. Will give up the base hit. That's going to score at least 1. He'll be charged, and they're going to send the runner home, and he's going to be gone. LaPlaca shows him the ball. Now, what a throw, and what a tag. LaPlaca came up the line to meet the ball. It was also to the backstop side of the tag, and he couldn't get the glove and the ball and everything. Accordingly, he just grabbed the ball and reached out and dove and tagged him. So Woods will score. Out at the plate is Daigle. And now up hitting is Colte. Now I think I've got one off here. There's a strike. Let me catch up on my book, and that's what I did. That's a Colte got the hit. This is Billy Knapp. I'm sorry. Okay, and I got my assist down. All right, okay, I'm caught up. And that's a swinging strike right there. So you've got Kulig down at second, Colte at first base with an RBI. 6-3 now. They've got the lead in half. So Rutland running up the first 6 runs of the game, and now Fairhaven with the last 3 runs of the game, and still a chance to do more here. And boy, he went upstairs out of the strike zone. Strikeout number 8, out number 2 of the inning. So he keeps his at least 1 strikeout per inning alive. And Ryan Gilbert up. He struck out back in the 3rd. We're in the 4th. Fairhaven down just 3, 6-3 with runners at first and second. And number 9 hitter Gilbert up, and he had a left-handed swing tendency. You know, he's a right-hander. He put that front foot and stepped right out of the into the bucket with it and shortened his bat, and he'll swing through it for a strike. They're going to throw down, and yep. LeBlanc with a very strong and accurate arm. He'll throw any base, any situation. The runner was back safe that time. And, of course, that is number 14, Kulig down there at second base. 6-3, 2 down. An 0-2 count, and the pitch will be high, way high, and it'll be chased down by the catcher. And I started to tell you earlier, I never finished my thought about the arms in the outfield on a single, and you can see right there the strength of McGuire, and a nice job by LePlac of putting a tag on. And that's going to be to Parker, and he'll grab it, and that's going to be the inning. But again, 6-3, we got a ball game going into the bottom of the 4th, Rutland with the lead. Real quickly, still has Colte at first, Catrati at second, Davis at short, Daigle at third, Gilbert behind the plate, Woods on the mound, Knapp, Neary, and Kulig the outfield, and you're looking at John Holtman, who walked and scored his only time up. And that'll be high. Dan Woods had a nice outing in the 3rd. So he had a strikeout, a line out, and a fly out for a 1-2-3 inning, and that's going to be, should be a strike, and there's the call. Going to be 1 ball, 1 strike. You're watching Channel 15 Sports, Munger Vision, PEGTV, PEGTV.com. And the pitch will be, whoa, that old tomahawk chop around the eyeballs. Makes it a 1-2 count. As Rutland coming in with just that 1 league loss. That was an 8-5 loss right here to Hartford, post 26. And what was just an ugly game by everybody. Both Hartford and Rutland. Rutland having a great game against Bennington, and we're locked up 2-2 with Chester before darkness stopped that game. 3-1 to count, and the pitch on the way, and that'll be a leadoff. Oh. See, it had 3 balls on the board, and I don't know who's keeping the board tonight, but they're slacking off. They've had lack of strikes, too many balls, and they're usually very good up there. They must be preoccupied. And, boy, he must have forgot a piece of it to follow it off, because it says it's a 3-2 count. And Dan Woods would like not to get back the run they just picked up. He got a lot of help from John Holtman. John Holtman swinging at 2 balls that were definitely out of the strike zone. Now Pat Guyette up. Pat Guyette has walked and scored, and then top of the order, Rob Dorian due up next here in the 4th. Things were cruising along last night too with Chester. I believe it was when the game 7 innings ended and we're tied at 2. I think it was 7:24. And then we spent almost another hour and a half here before. Again, like I said, yeah, what a great ball. Some of the best defenses I've seen played by both sides. The pitching was clutch. And 2-2 game that's going to be picked back up down in Chester before the start of their 9-inning game that day, and we'll have to conclude that and get the winner. It'll be up and away, way away. There's 1 out and nobody on base. See Pat Guyette with Rob Dorian on deck, and that'll be ball 4. So a strikeout and a walk. And Guyette with some pretty good speed down at first base. What happened? Rutland got that 6-run second inning, and offensively they kind of got flat, got complacent. Now they have had Gilbert, the catcher, throw a runner out trying to steal second base already. And that was Jeff McLaughlin they threw out. So Gilbert, very capable of taking the runners out. And no, that will not get the call. That'll be a 2-ball, no strike count. There is a mercy rule. And right now, 6-3, one thing that would come into play There's a strike. And Fairhaven really settled down nicely in the third and fourth inning. That's when they picked up their 3 runs. And they're only down 3 right now. And that is just scooped up Gilbert with a great stop. Short hopping it, all glove. Never made himself big behind the plate like a catcher should, but he's got that quick reflex that youth allows you to have, and he's able to make the stop with the glove. And great pitch. Outside corner, 3-2 the count. So Dorian, looking to make contact here, will lay off. Good job of not going up the ladder, and that'll force the runner over to second. Dorian will be at first. Back-to-back walks. Matt Sharon up. He is grounded out to third and doubled. Matt Sharon got a piece of that, and that's going to be to Devin Neary in center field, and he will have it. And nope, they fake going, and they'll try to draw the throw and take it out of play. And boy, who backed that up did a great job. That'd be the catcher, Dan Woods. And that gets out of play. They allow the runner to move up. That's why Guyette faked going. Now McLaughlin up. He is walked and grounded out to Catrati at second base. There are 2 down and 2 on in the bottom of the 4th. And from the stretch, the lefty will kick fire, and it should be strike 1. There it is. They said all Rutland's real offense, even though they had a double in that second inning, it was all walks and hit batters. So Fairhaven might regret that second inning. That's right now the big one, 6 runs. 6-3 the score. Fairhaven down just 3. Channel 15 is located in Building 24 in the House Center. Their phone number is 747-0151. Executive Director, the big boss, is Mike Valentine. Tommy Leipold is the program director at Channel 15. And the pitch coming in will be down to short. He'll flip to second. That's the force. That's the inning. And we'll have a 6-3 score going into the 5th. Rutland with the lead. So in the 5th, it'll be Chad Catrati, the leadoff hitter, leading off. Kind of ironic, isn't it? He's the top of the order, and he's going to look at ball 1. Now, Chad this afternoon has struck out in the first, walked and scored in the 3rd. He'll take a look here at the second offering from Matt Sharon, and that's on the line, and that's not going to be caught. It's going to be rolling to the wall. You can see it right there. Catrati with blinding speed will pull up with a double. What a strike out there to left field by Catrati. Oh, man, did he get on that ball and just hammer it. So Evan Davis up now. He had a double his last time up. He's 1 for 2. He grounded out to Sharon and had a double. So another runner in scoring position for Fairhaven, who just keeps pecking away at that 6-0 deficit. It's a 6-3 right now. And Sharon, tad low. Had the plate, but below the knee. It'll be ball 1. He has 8 strikeouts in the game right now, Sharon does. But really credit Fairhaven for staying composed and settled down and not thinking the game's over at 6-0 after 2. They've just kept right on staying steady and getting the job done now. Chance to keep adding runs. That's going to be a good stop by LaPlaca, and he'll just reach underneath him to locate the ball. There, he's got it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all. We're in the 5th to see how this inning goes, but if there is to be another pitcher, I would not be surprised at all to see it be Chad Ryan. And that will not get the call. Dropped off the table just a little bit too much for the liking of the home base umpire, and all of a sudden we're going to have a 3-1 count again. And I'll be right there for a strike. Fairhaven at the plate with the red tops, gray bottoms. Post 31 out in the field with the red, white, and blue tops, then the white bottoms. And again, we're supposed to go 7, but that's always iffy as far as we're going to go over. Oh, he's got to be called out. There's the strike, yeah. Again, man, 9 strikeouts, but I believe over half of those are just looking at pitches down the pipe with 2 strikes on them. Devin Neary up. He has struck out twice, once in the 1st, once in the 3rd. Contrati led the sitting off with a blast to left field, a double. And that should get the call. Nice breaking pitch. Little off-speed stuff there working for him. 9 strikeouts and a 6-3 lead. And Sharon from the stretch again will come and be high and outside this time. That'll make it a 1-1 count. And again, if you get a chance, come out live to St. Peter's Field and watch the Post 31 squad play. If you happen to miss them, you can catch their action on channel 15. That's going to be to Sharon up the middle. Oh, it's going to be through Sharon's wickets. Contrati had to hold up to make sure the ball cleared, and he'll go down to third base. And that'll be a single over there. You can see right there, Neary with a nice job of driving the ball up the middle. So first and third, 1 down. Love the opportunity here to send the runner from first to second. Dan Woods up. He singled his last time up. Matt Sharon, in the third, fourth, and fifth, has been working Wood Company on the bases. He has a first and third situation right now, and 1 out. He'd love to throw a double play. That's why I'd like to see if Coach Ruppy will start the runner at first base. And that'll just miss inside, just a smidging, be ball 1. You watch Sports Beat on channel 15, Mondays at 4:30, Tuesdays at 5:30, and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. That'll miss low again, ball 2. Sharon getting a little frustrated with himself by the body language after you watch it pitch like that. So 6-3, the tying run at the plate right now for Fairhaven. And that well framed and well received, and it'll become a strike. 2-1 the count. Again, we've already seen from the outfield, say if it's a fly ball, it'll be interesting if they want to send Contrati because there are strong arms out here in the outfield. But Contrati with that great speed, and that's going to be high. That'll push it to a 3-1 count, and I'm looking Coach Brewer on that top step of the dugout, watching the action rather intently. Will it be time for a visit from the pitching coach if this becomes a walk? Wow, great fastball. And that'll make it a full count at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sorry to tell you, if you can't get to a game for whatever reason live, Channel 15 will have them aired throughout morning, afternoon, evenings. You can just check the schedule on site on the website at PEGTV.com, or that's going to be a foul ball strike. Or Sam's Good News has not only Channel 15's schedules, but also has Channel 20 and 21. And if you just don't have any patience with any of that, you can just call them and ask when the games will be on at 747-0151. So we're right back to a 3-2 count. 6-3 to score Rutland. And Matt Sharon, at the last second, LaPlaca shifted inside. Thought the hitter might be peeking at location, set up outside, then jumped inside. Pitch was beautiful, right? A fist fouled off. That's what you do with 2 strikes. Wasn't a pitch he really cared about driving, but he knew it might be a strike, so he fouled it off. Been a good battle right here. And that is going to be a high chopper to McLaughlin. He'll throw to first, and they're going to come home. And they got him rung up. There's the double play to end the inning. Boy, Brewer with a perfect throw, and LaPlaca with an outstanding tag, and that Post 31 defense just has a knack for pulling out a big play like that every game. They'll preserve that 6-3 lead going into the bottom of the 5th over Fairhaven Post 49. Got a new look to the outfield for Post 49 from Fairhaven. They have Nick Rowland in left field and John Schrammick out in left field. And I believe that's... No, I got Nick Ackley, number 12, playing first base. So they made 3 defensive changes. This is LaPlaca up at the plate to lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th. He'll turn away from that pitch and have a 2-0 count now. Boy, Fairhaven, a great opportunity in the top half of this inning to get at least 1, possibly 2 more runs. And a great double play. That's a one from McLaughlin, who's 5, to 3 to Brewer, who's 3, and then Brewer to LaPlaca. So a 5-3-2 double play. And again, the throw by Brewer was just beautiful, right where LaPlaca had to put the tag. There wasn't a lot of margin or time there for error, and that's a strike right there. We'll have a 3-1 count. Dan Woods came on reliever Richard Colte. He's done a real nice job. He hasn't given up any runs yet. he came in. It's a walk. Actually, yeah, he came in with a 6-0 score, I believe. Whatever it was, he's done a good job. We're going to have Garrett Brewer up now. He has walked and scored and struck out. He's going to run at first base, and now they'll have the courtesy runner. Looks like Joe Trono, 25, coming out. Looks like his hairdo. And it is 25. Joe Trono is going to be the courtesy runner for La Placa. And I tell you, after that 6-0 second, it had the makings of a mercy rule game, but I'll tell you what, Fairhaven's done a nice job. They're going to look back at that second inning. It had featured, and I'll go through it in just a second here as we have the pitch coming, and it's going to be a bunt, and it's going to stay in play. There's one play, and that's the first base, and just to get him, nice job by Brewer, though, sacrificing the runner down. I think Coach Shirley's kind of got to feel that his offense might have flattened out here, especially after the Chester game. A little emotionally flat right now. Chris Parker up. He's been hit by a pitch and scored a run. Then he lined out to Chad Catrati, who made a great diving leap on the ball. And let me get the first pitch here from Dan Woods to Chris Parker. And Parker, good thing he's, oh, he has got hit. Yeah, so I say, good thing he's skinny there. That would have hit him, but it did hit him. That's the third batter hit by Fairhaven pitching tonight. And I'll bring up Sean McGuire. But in that second inning, Rutland had a walk, a hit batter, a walk, and a double. So, I mean, if you look back, I mean, Fairhaven really basically beat themselves up in that second inning. They gave 6 runs up. And that's a good pitch. That's going to be a strike. So with one down, there's a runner. Runners at first and second. Trono at second. And Parker at first. Pretty good speed out there on both bases. And that's going to be a base hit. And you see it rolling, and they're going to send the runner home. Trono's going to come in and score the 7th run for post 31, and we'll go over there and pick up the RBI. Sean McGuire gets the RBI. McGuire's starting to really see the ball and hit the ball well now for post 31, kind of picking up where he left off last year. Now Chad Ryan will come in and hit for Holtman, and kind of what they did just about the same portion of the game last night. And then Ryan went out to play right field for Holtman. I'm not saying that's going to be the case here. Sharon still looks very fresh as far as coming back to pitch another inning. So Chad Ryan from Mill River will step up there. He'll be a senior this year at Mill River. He's got the table set. Runners at first and second. 1 down, 1 run in. 7-3 Rutland. And he went after that nasty breaking ball and missed it. And that'll be an 0-1 count. So Rutland picking up their first run since the second inning. That was a big hit there by McGuire, who just missed a home run leaving the yard last night. A great play out in left field by the Chester outfielder, going right up against the wall and reaching over it to snag the ball. He hit it to the 310 marker, and he should have hit it 310.5. That'll be well outside, and Gilbert will slide out and make the stop. And again, let's start with Gilbert behind the plate. He's done a nice job catching here in this ball game for Fairhaven post 49. Nick Ackley's now at first. Catrati is at second. That pitch inside. Evan Davis is still your shortstop. Zach Daigle remains at third. Nick Rowland, Devin Neary, and John Schrumick is the outfield alignment here. And that will not catch the corner, and that should be ball 4, and that's going to load him up for post 31. Now Guyette, who's walked twice and scored once at the plate, and Coach Ruby coming out. And this could be the end of the pitching experience tonight for Dan Woods, who I think's done a nice job. And we'll see if we get in and see when Coach Ruby does, or if he does, take the ball. But it is critical right now. We're getting into the last third of the ball game, 5th, 6th, 7th inning. You're only down 4 right now at 7-3, And you got a chance here you need a big play. There's 2 down. Now you're looking for the double play like what Rutland turned when they needed it. Okay, and I just got a late change. Webster. Dave Webster's in at third base for post 49. I apologize that I didn't notice that before, but I can't see the back of the jersey numbers from my vantage point out here. So Guyette's going to hit. They're going to have Woods stay out there on the mound, and he's set to fire away already. And that could drop. And that is going to drop in. He'll be picked up. 2 runs coming in. You can see the second one scoring right there. And Guyette with a 2 RBI single. And boy, wouldn't that be something if he could start making contact on a regular basis. Chad Ryan's up at second base. Guyette at first. Top of the order, Rob Dorian up. He walked his last time up, and the pitch coming will be to the backstop. And this time, the umpire is moving up. There's the runner. I was following the umpire and couldn't find the runner. So the runners do move up to second and third on that wild pitch. And Dorian can bust this thing open. It's 9-3 right now. That'll be outside. So Dan Woods was sailing along. Kind of got roughed up here in the 5th, bottom of the 5th. And that'll be well out of the strike zone. He might be a little out of gas right now. Rutland with 6 runs in the 2nd, 3 here in the 5th so far. You hear the pop on the glove right there. So in a 9-3 game in the bottom of the 5th, Rutland looking for that big base hit right now. Good eye. I'll tell you what, that's a lot of walks issued by post 49 pitching in this ball game. Bases are juiced for Matt Sharon. He's got a double already tonight. And Matt Sharon, not the guy I'd want to face in a situation up there. Good hitter. He'll take that first one down the pipe, and ooh, they called it a ball. I'm not sure if that's why Dan Woods is taking a walk, but that was a pretty close pitch. That one definitely high and tailing away. On deck will be Jeff McLaughlin. He'll also represent the 9th hitter to come to the plate here in this 5th inning. And I'll tell you what, 3 straight balls, and in what could be the final pitch. Yeah, Coach Ruby getting set of the evening for Dan Woods on the way. And he'll pitch another one. That's strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. So Guyette had one of the big hits this inning, driving a couple runs. And boy, had him fooled right there, and Sharon lunging at the ball and brings it all the way back to a full count. They're going to stick with Woods until he lets another walk or hit or a run come in. There's the walk, and the run will come in, and here comes Ruby. We'll have a pitching change. It's now 10-3 Rutland over Fairhaven. So Nick Rowland's now the new pitcher, the 3rd pitcher used this ball game by Fairhaven post 49. Going into a tough spot, 10-3 game, bases loaded, 1 down at the plate. And that looks to be catchable. I'm looking for who's got it. Going to be caught, and Rowland, and they're going to get the ball in to the cutoff. And I don't understand why Guyette didn't move up and score on the play. He made the diving catch. And just the fact, the downtime he had, could have got the, I couldn't pick the ball up, that's why I had to look at the outfielders. Now the plaque up. He has scored twice and walked twice. But there's 2 outs now and stays 10-3. And Nick Rowland will have a strike called. Remember, it was Colte that started the game, and then Woods came in to relieve him. And now Rowland in there for Fairhaven. And that's going to be through the hole, and there's going to be a 1 run coming in, and lining it up, 2 runs coming in, and Sharon will end up at third base. See all the dust flying around him. Matt Sharon, nice base running. 2 more runs in, though, for Rutland. So I got to catch up. Guyette will score. Dorian will score. Sharon goes to third. And LaPlaca, where'd Anthony end up? At second. Now Garrett Brewer up. He had a sacrifice bunt that was a beauty. And it's 12-3 now. Rutland up by 9, breaking open a close 6-3 game. And it's just tough to pick the ball up out of the shade into the light like that where it's coming out of. So Roland will get the corner. Nice pitch by Roland when he needed it. Big thing is there's 2 down. He can just worry just about the hitter right here and get the out. Brewer looking to jack one here. And they're staying away from him. They don't want to bring the ball up inside where he can crush it, or all over the plate where he can extend those arms. They're keeping everything right away from him. Goes to 3 balls, 1 strike. First base is open. Not that that's what they want to do. And that's going to be a tough play. It's a high chopper, long throw, and they'll get him. So we'll go to the 6th inning now with Rutland up 12-3 over Fairhaven, post 49. Changes. Oh, yeah, we got changes. Let's start with the pitcher, Mike Sorelli. He's going to be out there, number 12. He'll be the new pitcher replacing Matt Sharon, who leaves after 5 full innings with a 12-3 lead. He only win the ball game. He had 9 strikeouts. Extremely impressive outing for Matt Sharon. Garrett Brewer remains at first. Chris Parker is at second. Matt Sharon's gone from the pitching mound back to shortstop. Very good shortstop player. And Jeff McLaughlin remains at third. Got Chad Ryan in right field. Sean McGuire moves to center field. That pitch will be a strike right there. And Mark Noble is the left fielder. And that's the changes for post 31. It's an 0-2 count from Sorelli. And that's going to be hit. See Parker pick it up. He'll throw. And nice job all the way around. Oh, they're going to say he was off the bag. Tell you what, nice job by Parker staying with it. And then throw to Sorelli, who smartly got over there and hustled over the bag. Now John Schrammick up with a runner at first base. So Schrammick up for the first time will take ball 1. So Sorelli on relief. Now remember, Sorelli against Windsor came in, geez, I want to say he retired the first 6, 7, 8, 9 batters he faced. Just had a phenomenal outing. He's got a runner on, nobody down. 12-3 to score in the 6th. There is a mercy rule, but we might make it to 7. That'll be a strike. Nice pitch at the knee. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's back up in the count again, like he was the very first hitter. And that will get away and be to the backstop. And I'll tell you what, you're not going to win any games if you don't move up on a play like that. That was, yeah, the backstop's closer and all this and that, but I could have made it to second base, I think. Rutland with a 6-run second and a 6-run 5th, and they're up 12-3. And boy, just couldn't pick the ball up, and it'll be a strikeout in the first out of the inning. So for Rutland post 31 pitching combination of Sorelli and Sharon, they now have accumulated 10 strikeouts in the ball game. And it's a strike. Just couldn't pull the trigger, and it's going to be a strike. And Sorelli, as he has done in his appearances here at St. Peter's Field this year, pitching up in the count. That's going to be a 1-1 count now. Pitching from ahead in the count. And that sun has found the opening in the clouds, and it is a tough sun field now for the left fielder. Noble out there. That's going to be a strike. 1-2 in a 12-3 game. Rutland with the lead, looking to up their league record. And Sorelli, again, when he drops it down, well, that's his style. With his second strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts. And now Roland up. And Roland getting his first swings of the evening, and that's going to be strike 1. Great location by Sorelli. It's just to the left side, the outside portion of the plate, and knee high. Oh, beautiful. And again, he's got a funky delivery, so it is kind of hard to get used to him the first time you see him and pick up the ball. Works at a nice pace, too. It's 0-2. and he'll strike out 3 batters, and we'll go to the 7th. 12-3 Rutland. Nice job by Mike Sorelli. Hey, Mr. Parker, Chris Parker coming up for Rutland in the bottom of the 6th. The Mercy, we've gone far enough now so the Mercy rule would come into play. It's 12-3 Rutland with the lead. Roland still on the mound, and Parker, he's been hit by pitches twice tonight and scored both times. He had a wicked line drive that was snagged by Chad Catrati, robbing him of a base hit. And the game, you know, after the intense, emotional, well-played 2-2 tie with Chester just 24 hours ago, this game just no way could live up to the billing of last night's game. This is a much more subdued style game. Swing and a miss on a pitch that broke down and away, and it'll be 0-2 now from Roland to the leadoff hitter here for Rutland this inning. And they'll be outside. That's Chris Parker up there. I kind of lost myself. So Parker, good eye right there, laying out that last pitch. Makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes. And it'll come up and be a 2-2 count now. So after getting up 0-2 in a count, he went to a bunch of fishing pitches. He was just nibbling. Now he should come right after the hitter. And he'll just miss. And boy, it goes right back to a full count now. After being down 0-2, Parker's worked it back to a 3-2 count. And boy, did he get jammed. Catrati can't get to it. It'll fall between 3 post 49 players. And it's just one of those hits that's just in the right place. And Parker will be on first base with nobody down. Now Sean McGuire. That's what I was kind of looking at before. I got ahead of myself. That'll be the first hit of the night for Parker. Now McGuire, who's been hit by a pitch, flied out to center field and singled. Been busy. Getting set here as he steps into the right side of the batter's box. And that's going to be a strike from Roland. Nice pitch. Again, he comes down. He doesn't come right over the top. He's got a little side iron, 3/4 action going on a lot of his pitches. Gilbert, the catcher's done a nice job tonight behind the plate for post 49. Parker faked the start on the steal. Trying to draw a throw, get everybody moving around, create a little havoc, maybe get him to throw the ball away. And he didn't post the pitch on the board. I thought it was a strike, but that'll be a ball. Yeah, we're in the bottom of the 6th. It is 12-3 Rutland with the lead. They've had 2 innings where they've scored 6 runs apiece. And that is going to be out of play. So McGuire will follow it off. They had a 6-run second and a 6-run 5th. Fairhaven with 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. Had a chance to keep going in the 5th, and that's kind of when they got stopped there. That kind of slowed their momentum. That was a rising fastball inside. McGuire will duck down out of the way, and the board has it at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first is Parker. He had a single to start this inning off. And that'll be ball 4. McGuire now will go to first. That'll push Parker to second, and that'll bring up Chad Ryan. So Chad Ryan, again, stepping in there. And again, it's hard to be emotionally pumped, as I was last night for that game. I mean, you got to really see that Chester game. Pitchers coming through with fantastic efforts, big pitches when they get big strikeouts. The fielders making all kinds of just highlight-type plays. The crowd there was into it. And that game ended here 2-2, but will be resumed down in Chester at a later date to determine the winner. 1-1 to count, and Chad Ryan knows that strike zone real well. That was almost unhittable. By the time that had broke down and away, there was really, you needed a 9-iron, a golf club to hit that. 1-2. Looking for the first out here of this inning, and he's not going to get it. It's going to be a base hit, and Parker going to see the point home for Chris Parker. He will touch up, and there's the 13th run. And in and up at second base is Chad Ryan. Got himself an RBI. And Wade Post 31's reacting. That should be the mercy rule. And the umpire trying to ask what's happening, and that's 13-3. That's the 10-run mercy rule. They've gone enough innings, and that should be a win right there for post 31. Ryan will get the winning hit. Well, no, he won't. He'll get the hit that ends the game, and that's going to be the ball game. It's going to be a mercy run. Yeah, it's going to be a shortened rule, mercy rule game. There, I'll get it right before this is over. So Rutland will win 13-3, and we'll pick post 31 back up on the 10th. So we'll have more post 31 baseball action for you. That's a good effort by post 31. Matt Sharon with 9 strikeouts. Mike Sorelli came in relief and had 3 strikeouts. So 12 strikeouts by the pitching staff of post 31. Timely hitting when they had a chance to hit the ball. There were a lot of walks, 10 walks, 11, 12 walks tonight. 3 hit batters by post 49 Fairhaven pitching, and good job all the way around. Nice sportsmanship. Get out there, support American Legion baseball action, support public access television, support Munger Vision, and God bless America.